So the new Halo show came out, like I predicted, and well, my autistic crusade to get Halo Legends notice isn't working. Um, but yeah, so pretty much it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Like, I feel like a lot of people are looking at it from a perspective of it being like canon to the Halo lore. And the thing is, I'm used to new universes for media being made since I'm a fan of Transformers. Like every 4 years, there's a new like continuity made, and this new silver canon. Like I don't mind the route they're going right now, even though it sort of makes no sense in a way. But um, there's just a lot of criticism towards the show, and I feel like a lot of it is unjustified, and I'll explain why. We're going to look at a very quick video. The Halo show is another casualty of the message. How is it another casualty of the message? Did you even watch it? Halo TV series to completely change Master Chief's character for a focus on Quan-Ah for a human perspective. What? Now, if you watch the show so far, Master Chief doesn't really act too different as he does in the games until he touches the Forerunner thing. That's when he really changes to being more going rogue, sort of. But I don't get how that's supposed to be woke, because apparently the focus is on like a human female girl, whatever. Like in the first minute of the show, there's a whole entire village of minorities being executed by the Covenant and melted in horrible ways. And you're telling me this is woke?
Premiered, and the reviews are coming in, and it's not great. People aren't loving it. There are people though that are saying it's pretty good. That's like brutal and kind of engaging and things of that nature. And then there are people that are saying it looks cheap and the CG's cheap, and that, you know, every powerful character is, you know, just as you'd expect, and that the show is extraordinarily woke. Looks like both people are right, and there's a lot of...
I still have yet to realize how it's woke. I mean, to give Jeremy the benefit of the doubt, he actually acknowledged that both sides seem to either like or dislike the show, which, you know what, I'm glad that you're giving the benefit of the doubt. So apparently this is why it's woke, or why is it trash. Show would be non-canon. It's not really that bad if it ends up failing. And plus, it gives you opportunities to explore new universes, designs. You know, Transformers freaking makes new canons every 4 years. Like, I don't see... Like, Halo has been stagnated for, like, the past 20 years. It hasn't had much expansion. And this is a good way to expand, to have new ideas and stuff. And even then, we still have gotten a plenty of Halo movies that are set into canon, like Halo Legends, Forward into Dawn. I say Dawn, freaking Dawn, I can't say that. But, you know, you could watch those two movies, they're pretty... Halo Legends is better, but it's pretty good. You can even watch Halo Legends on YouTube right now. You can do that. Or you could forget that it exists and just continue to shit on this show and pretend like Halo has never had any good adaptations, like everyone is doing right now. Race-swapped already established characters. And that's the only point I can find of it being woke, actually, is the diversity, quote-unquote diversity, by the way, and the race-swap characters, which, in my opinion, race-swapping is lazy and racist. I genuinely think that you can just make new characters instead of race-swapping. It doesn't matter what race or gender it is. I just don't think it's. I think it's just laziness and people just seeing. They're just feeling like, oh, we can't have our own stories. Well, yes, you can. Like, it's just. And even then, that's. And then in the show, pretty much. Like it's like they've race swapped 3 characters, I believe, and it's just like, you can just make new characters. You don't have to try and change a current character. That's just you being lazy, and I could, uh, I, and also I don't know if it's something people can control since, well, especially the showrunners, since there's diversity quotas, so they kind of have to make everything freaking diverse, or else they don't get that EGS score money. Which, yeah, is pretty pathetic. But so far, at the beginning of this, I remember there's a article saying that this show is going to talk about politics. And so far in the show, it seems to actually have everything to do with the in-game politics, where you have the insurrectionists, the UNSC, and that dynamic, and the Covenant. But I wanna address an out of context quote now, because apparently there's a out of context quote that makes people always cite in their comments. And this is on Memology channels. This is on all these channels talking about it. Halo showrunner says, "We didn't look at the game." That sure does sound bad. However, this is the actual quote. We didn't look at the game. We didn't talk about the game. We talked about the characters in the world, so we never felt it being limited by a game. By this, they mean they frickin' just looked at all the lore, mainly the books, and the frickin' Bible 343 gave them, and they looked at that instead of most of the stuff that happened in the games. And this series takes place before those game events, since Reach isn't glassed yet. Since it's fully operational, it seems. And people took this out of context as saying, oh, these people didn't even look at the games, they didn't even bother to try. And if you've actually watched the show, a lot of the elements from the book seem to come to fruition. Like, plasma is actually very deadly in the books. The insurrectionists in the UNSC have that dynamic of the insurrectionists wanting to not be a part of the UNSC, and the UNSC wanting them to join and stuff. And the UNSC also creating Spartans just to kill the insurrectionists. All of that's in the Halo lore. Like, that's all mentioned in the show as well. A lot of elements from the Halo lore is mentioned in the show. And a lot of the designs, the sounds, like they even have the OG Combat Evolved cloak sound when an elite goes in the camo. In High Charity, the frickin' vehicle designs, they all look pretty accurate to the games, and like I genuinely don't see how they didn't. They had to have they have a they had to have been able to look at the games and actually say, oh, here's what they did, because they used the Covenant. They use a lot of elements from the games, but at the same time they change up a lot of things. Some of the things I'm not too keen on, like the Human Covenant lady or Master Chief just taking off his helmet with no build-up, or like the diversity changing, which is just lazy and bullshit. But yet again, like that's a discussion for another day. I'm not like here to talk about the full moral ethics of this. I have reasons why I don't think that's right. And it'd be better if I saved it for a different video, or I linked you to a video that could explain it better for me, which is lazy, so I'd probably just go out and make my own video explaining why. But anyways, my point is that, like, they obviously looked at the books, not the games, because the show seems more accurate to the book lore, with some changes here and there, which happens a lot with Marvel media or frickin' Transformers. Like, it's always has happened before, and with Transformers, I know that also got a lot of hate. I remember when Bayformers was first a thing, well, that didn't get a lot of popularity with the G1 fans. But it made a shit ton of money, and it helped reinvent ideas for the franchise like the Allspark. And I can see this show doing the same thing with the energy shield. There's jackals with frickin' swords. That'd be pretty cool to see in the game, or new armor sets or stuff. Yet again, I think people are looking at this as the perspective as this is supposed to be a retelling of the original trilogy, which it's not. And I don't think the show should be called Halo, since it's not really telling the original story, it's telling its new story. It should have just had like some subtitle. Like how Halo Legends or Halo Forward into Dawn did it. And yeah, there's a lot of things to criticize, like the CGI being bad for like $10 million with an episode. I think most of the CGI went into the Covenant or UNSC landscapes. I mean, most people are just nitpicking the action scenes at the moment. And of course, it's brought up that the media is actually playing defense for this. Probably because it has the diversity stuff, so they think it's on their side or whatever. I don't know. I don't know, because, like, there's two sides to this fight right now, where you have... It's like the culture war came into Halo, I think. Like, I saw this video from Menology at work, and I just felt like shit for the rest of the day, because I was just super angry about it, because he didn't mention how good Halo Legends did, and at the end he said Galo. I just feel like a lot of these people who are talking about the show being woke or whatever aren't actually Halo fans. Like, I mean, in the Quartering's video, he said he didn't even really play the games. I doubt these people actually watched the show and they're calling it woke or saying it's bad. You didn't even watch it. You need to watch it first. You can't just assume something is woke because of a news article or because of red flags. Like, the story isn't really woke so far in episode 1. And, and it does follow the games. Well, it does follow the frickin' Halo lore, the books. And I just feel like it's very misleading to say that, oh, this is such a failure, they're not following anything. Now, as much as I want to fully defend the show, I'm not gonna, like, frickin' simp for it, because there are people who are simping for it. One of the major defense forces is the r/Halo Circle Jerk place, which is a subreddit of free-for-free defenders with leftist politics. Like, these people, like this guy just gave a honest question here, and then this guy was like, some of you people are offended by the presence of people of color. You're why we can't have nice things. Well, he did apologize, but still, like, I can't side with anyone here. You have one side who is freaking criticizing everything, calling everything woke or whatever, or not even watching the show and just calling it shit without actually giving fair criticism. And then you have one side which is just praising the hell out of it, and then freaking calling anyone who disagrees with them racist, or saying that the show is good because it's not like the games or whatever. Like, I just can't pick a side here. The only middle ground I see are Halo YouTubers themselves, who are kind of like me, where we're just kind of we're talking about what we don't like and what we do like. But the culture warriors want to make it a political argument where they say it's woke when it's actually not. So far, except for the diversity stuff. That's the only thing, the choice of casting, that is actually woke at all. Like, and then you have the people on the other side who are just unbearable as well. And I get nervous calling people that I like out. I don't like calling out people like Memeology or the Quartering or whatever, but since I like their content and I tend to agree with them on a lot of things, but I can't, like, just sit here, because this isn't, like, something that this is something I've noticed for a long time. Like, it's usually a problem with people like Yellow Flash, but where we have titles, not our Master Chief, Halo TV's destroyed by critics. And then there was another one we called it a Mandalorian ripoff or whatever. Let's find it. It's right over here. Labeled a discount Star Wars Mandalorian ripoff. Like, these titles, man, they're absolute cancer. Frickin'. Like, nothing was destroyed. The frickin' reviews are at half right now. And most of these people, when they look at the reviews, and here, like, right now, he's only looking at all the negative reviews, where he just looks only at them. Like, there's a clear bias here for these people to try and make this into some political thing, which you can criticize the show for the casting decisions. I don't mind that, but trying to say, oh, the show is woke, like it's the first episode. There is no sign of any woke politics at all. And I find it ironic that you guys complain about the media lying and misrepresenting things when you guys didn't even do any research on the actual full extent of the out of context comment we didn't play the games. Because if you watch the show, you would know that it actually has a lot of stuff from the games. And sure, there's some design choices I don't like. I don't like how the elites are acting like brutes. And I don't like the Marines' helmets looking too much like Starship Troopers, but like most of them are just nitpicks, and the story's kind of weird right now. It's just, it felt like a season finale, not the beginning of a story. But I just find it ironic you're complaining about the frickin' media taking things out of context and lying, which they do a lot, but then you're doing it yourself. And these people are also trying to, I know the Sonic movie's coming out in like 2 weeks. Yeah, Friday of, 2 weeks. And I know these people are going to try and pin the two shows against each other. They're going to be like, oh, Halo bad, Sonic good. This is what happens when you go woke, you go broke. And the thing I have to say to this, especially like channels like The Quartering, is that they always act like these people who are making these shows woke or whatever are dumb. They know what they're doing, you know. They know that they're putting these things in there for a message. They're not there to make money because BlackRock and the EGS score funds them to make things woke. This isn't a loss for them. They're fundamentally, them getting bad numbers at the box office doesn't mean anything. And I don't really like, and like Sonic and Halo both are great examples of franchises that have had good media adaptations in the past. So I don't like them being pinned together, and I don't like the comparison of, oh, look at what Sonic did, or look at what Arcane did. A better comparison would be to compare to what Halo Legends did. In fact, like I've said before, you can pretty much watch Halo Legends on YouTube right now for free. You can just look up Halo Legends, and you'll get a bunch of shorts from it, and you can just pretty much watch the whole thing. And it's Halo Legends is canon. It has a lot of stuff from the games, and to be honest, I like it better than the show so far. And I think it would help a lot of the people who want an itch of actual good Halo media. But it's like one of those shows that like most people don't mention as good as good video game media, and I think it would be a better comparison than like comparing the Halo show to Sonic or whatever, because Halo media has been done well in the past. And this is the perfect time to mention it, but in all these comment sections, and even in the Quartering's video, he completely ignores the other media that was presented. Like, I saw Forward into Dawn for a split second, and he didn't even bother to read the tweet or the comments talking about it, which makes me think that they're purposely trying to ignore that, to start like a whole fight between the things, between the franchises, like to pin them against each other, which is just stupid since both Sonic and Halo had good video game media before 2020 happened, before Sonic made it popular, I guess. Like, you had the Sonic OVA, and you had the frickin' Halo Legends or Forward into Dawn, you know? And this isn't even the first time that these types of YouTubers tried to pin these, like, franchises against each other. Back Battlefield, Halo, and COD were all competing, he made a video, Halo Infinite says future is genderless and non-binary. This will beat Battlefield 2024? Because at the time, because Battlefield 2024 wasn't the same as Battlefield 5 with having apparently woke politics in the trailer. Apparently it had no politics. Apparently these types of channels are trying to praise Battlefield and they're trying to use it as a way to own people who are angry that there are no politics in this new game. And right here, as we can see, they were trying to frickin' use it against Halo because Halo Infinite doesn't have a gender option, it just has a body type option. Which is kind of funny considering Battlefield came out the worst out of all of the FPS games in that whole entire thing. Halo launched the best. COD lasted the longest so far, I would say, since it's actually getting updates. Halo isn't. And Battlefield failed the most. So it's just hilarious to see these people try and be like, oh hey, this is this franchise versus this franchise when they probably don't share the same politics as you. But yeah, it's I don't know. I just feel like, and the thing of it is about this title too is that like, no, no one said the future is genderless and non-binary. No one said that. You just put that in the thumbnail so people could click on it. That's a problem. But well, I guess that's it for me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe later in the season of the Halo show it gets woke or something and they make some stupid real life political allegory. But so far it seems like just UNSC insurrectionist political conflict, which really doesn't have anything to do with real life. And I don't have anything against the channels I talked about today. Honestly, I don't think being called woke is as bad as being called racist by SJWs, which is why I tolerate anti-SJWs more, because they're like, all they do is call things woke. And sometimes they'll be wrong, sometimes they'll be right. And this is one of the times where they were wrong, and I noticed a lot of people didn't do any research about it. And honestly, it's not as, like, I don't know. I'm sorry if every single word seems like very jumbled and whatever. You know, I all my thoughts are in my head right now. I can't get it all out correctly, and it's hard for me to process everything. Honestly, I just hope I can use, I just want these people to shout out Halo Legends. That's all I want from these people. If you're gonna say this Halo show is bad, that's fine. I don't care. I personally can't form an opinion on it until it's all over and I can fully review it, but if you want to help things out, if you want to show good video game media, just tell these people that Halo Legends exists. I'm trying to go in these comments to tell people that it exists so that they can check it out, because it's honestly worth the watch. It's free on YouTube. It's a fun time, you know? And it just saddens me that when I think of a Halo show, that these people are going to bring up the bad one instead of something like Halo Legends, which sucks because it's going to stay underrated now. It's going to be buried still. And this was the perfect time to reveal it, the hidden gem that is Halo Legends. But anyways, that's the end of this video. Honestly, I don't really... I hope you guys can understand what I'm saying. I sound like a maniac. I frankly don't understand the points I'm trying to make, but... yeah. I probably forgot to say a few things. I don't care. I just wanted to give my thoughts about it because I felt really upset about this at work today. Because I'm really passionate about Halo and I want to see it succeed, and, you know. And I also am very passionate about Halo Legends, which is why I'm going to keep going into these comment sections, copying and pasting the same comments until it gives the love it's deserved. Unfortunately, I'm always late to these comment sections since these people upload whenever the hell they want and YouTube doesn't notify me because guess what? They upload free things, and the Halo video gets buried under the frickin' videos, so it's hard to find them. Anyways, thank you for listening or watching, if you can literally stare at my face for like 20 minutes, but thank you.